Stand by to launch Fan Stream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Fan Stream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Back to the line. Hedman waits, wise, shoots, scores! Victor Hedman with a blast. It's a power play goal, and the Lightning take the lead.
And it was the game winner last night as the Bolts beat Ottawa 2-1. A little payback for last week's 4-0 shutout. The Lightning have now won 7 of 8, 42 points, which leads the entire NHL, their third fastest start in history, in their franchise history, and they're doing without Kucherov, Pointer, and Chernak, and a lot of other guys most of the way. What an incredible run by their Tampa Bay Lightning. Welcome into the JP Peterson Show this morning on this Football Friday and Hockey Friday as well, as we get you ready for a big weekend of local sports here. Including a little fight going on Saturday night with Jake Paul. I got some breaking news on that, by the way, that I will pass along to you. That not many people know. This is what happens when you hang out in seedy bars. You get really good information, which I did last night at Hat Tricks. Anyway, we'll get to that in just a little bit. So much to get to today. COVID protocols have been changed for the NFL. That's a big deal. We'll tell you why. Big game last night between the Chargers and Chiefs. Everybody's talking about Anthony Becht will join us at 10:15, and we'll get the lowdown from that tight end about a tight end that went wild last night. Travis Kelce's, man, that guy is still. I don't know who's better right now in the league. As Nick Geddes, Outkick.com, joins us here. Kelce, Kittle, Gronk. I mean, it is the golden age of the tight end right now.
Darren Waller,
really,
Mark
Waller.
Andrews.
I mean, my God.
I think there's a clear 5 right there. Throw TJ Hawkinson in. It's a golden era of tight end, like you said. For my money, it's Travis Kelce because he's out there every single game. He doesn't miss games, never injured. 32 years old now, I believe, and outrunning all those guys yesterday.
My God.
He's something else.
And Brandon Staley last night, he is the new breed of coach that never kicks field goals and goes for it on fourth down. I'm not so. You could debate that, honestly. I think going for it on fourth down is actually a really good idea, but not kicking field goals in those situations seems really, really silly.
There's got to be a balance there.
Yeah, there's got to be a balance.
I don't know what the sheet that he's looking at is telling him what to do, but
the bigger problem for me is him defensively is how do you let Kelce and Tyreek Hill just dominate the game? I mean, everybody else in the league has figured out that you play a cover 2 shell and you double those 2 guys and let the other guys beat you. Because Mahomes' quarterback rating with those other guys last night was like 2, and everybody and Kelce and Hill was like 97. I mean, it's ridiculous. You got to be. I mean, there's we're watching the highlights right now. You're going to play Tyreek Hill one-on-one, man-to-man in the end zone. That ain't going to work. I mean, that's the bigger coaching problem for me. And let Mahomes escape, no controlled rush. I mean, they did exactly what they wanted to do last night. Everybody else has figured it out. I guess they haven't.
Yeah, that's the Chargers way, though. It's their MO. They're a week-to-week football team. I can't trust them. Can't tell me right now that they're a Super Bowl contender. Mahomes, I tell you what, is he better when he's moving?
Of course he is.
It's so weird. He can't stand in the pocket and just throw a regular pass.
No,
he moves
can't.
around, but he makes the damnedest plays doing it.
Well, then don't let him out. I mean, Joey Bosa just rushed upfield all day long, allowing him to escape that little B gap there. Yeah. And all day long, it was like taking candy from a baby. You got to be better than that. I mean, he's trying to get sacks. I get it, but you got to play within the team. And anyway, we'll talk to Anthony Becht about that. Paul Wilson, our resident actor friend, is going to join us. He saw Spider-Man last night.
Well, he better not spoil anything because I'm seeing it after the show today. So you make that clear.
No, we're bringing him on to spoil everything.
Well,
spoil everything.
Have fun producing.
No, he's going to just give us a little review. No spoilers, of course. There's a lot of good movies out right now. So it's Christmas time. We actually go back into a movie theater. That's fantastic. So he'll join us at 10:30 with our weekend entertainment review. Leo Haggerty will join us at 10:45 from Bucks practice to tell us who's out there, who's not. And then my man here is going to take over from 11 to 12, give you a shot to host by yourself for the final hour of the week. What do you got planned? Anything special?
We're going to have.
Just going to dazzle them with your outkick surprises?
Just a little surprises.
What does that
surprises.
mean?
Might have a little help. might have a little help in the back half of the show here.
Okay, good.
We'll see what we got.
Surprises. All right, I like surprises. All right, well, let's get going. Let's begin with the Lightning last night. We got lots of Brady sound too. We'll get to that as the Bucs. Oh yeah, the Bucs and the Saints playing a huge divisional game on Sunday night as they try and win the NFC South for the first time since 2007. With winning a Super Bowl, you kind of forget that they didn't win the NFC South. And obviously, that's not the ultimate goal, but it would be nice to win the division, once a decade. That might be a goal that you should aspire to. So we'll hear from Brady and some of the guys as we get closer to that matchup as well. But last night, big night for the Lightning on a lot of different levels. I mean, first of all, what they're doing right now is just ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous to have these many guys down, and it's not just Kucherov and Chernak and Pointer, but I mean, think about it in terms of last year's team. I mean, you're talking at the 7 to 8 key guys off of last year's Stanley Cup team that are not playing right now, and you're the best team in the league. I mean, after the first 2 weeks, and they adjusted to not having Kucherov, they literally have the best record in the league, 17-3-3, 37 points, and 804 point percentage, best in the NHL. Without those guys, what the hell? You don't do that in the NHL. You don't do that in any sport. Crazy what they're doing right now.
It's hard to put into words what they're doing. Victor Hedman, though, I think he's been. I mean, you see the difference last year with the injury and this year. I mean, it's a completely different player. He's shooting so much more now, and he's yesterday looked like he was trying to pass that puck, and he said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to send a bomb." And he's done that the last week or so. He's been awesome lately.
Tremendous goal last night. Little hesitation and then a blast. And Stammer got the secondary assist on that. 900 points. Just the second player in Lightning franchise history to get there behind Marty. I mean, it's a Hall of Fame career. He's headed to the Hall of Fame. He's having a tremendous year in his 14th season. Really, I mean, he's put this team on his back. It's incredible what Stamkos is doing. In fact, let's hear from Cooper last night. Talking about Stamkos and his 900 points and how he has just been carrying this team.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm disappointed in you that you don't know that. Yeah, I know you will. You'll text me that later. I know you will. I bet you. Oh man, I bet I've watched 500 of them. That's going to be my over/under 500. What do you guys think? Over or under? Over. You think I've seen over 500? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a lot of points. And it just, I don't want to say it sneaks up on you, but 900 is a big number. And to be able to do that, it's, I don't know, obviously says something why he was a number one overall pick. But to actually go out there and then do it as long as he's been doing, and especially now that the year he's having, I mean, good for him. He's deserved it, and he's hung in there, and he's reaping some rewards. So good for him.
And Cooper wants him to be on that Olympic team so bad that he's coaching. If the players go,
I don't know if they're going to go.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that. All right. Yeah. What a crap show that is. Well, let's hear from Stamkos on his 900 points last night. You could just kind of beaming. I think he's had as much fun right now as he's ever had, given the circumstances and the fact that he's gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, and just being healthy for him is such a big deal. Let's hear from Stamkos on the historic mark of 900.
No, that was special. Anytime you can do anything like that at home in a win in front of your fans and friends and family, it's just that much more special. So 100 more, then that'll be a really nice one. But you have to get to this to get to there. So, like I said, nice to do it at home in front of the fans. That was definitely appreciated by me.
Yeah, and he'll probably get to 1,000. Who knows how long he's going to play after? I thought he might be winding down after that series of injuries, but this has been a kind of a nice resurgence for him.
Yeah, and 900 points. I started thinking about it. I don't know if you remember his rookie year, but there was all the hype and there was billboards everywhere. The whole scene, Stamkos.
Yeah, of course.
And then I think his first 20 games, he might have had like a goal or two.
Well,
and there
wasn't that under Melrose?
It was under Barry Melrose.
Didn't Melrose famously say kid can't play?
He said kid can't play in the NHL. He said he was too soft, too little. too light.
It might have been more of a motivational tactic, but
yeah, but safe to say Barry did not stick around much longer. I think he only lasted about 20 games.
Yeah.
But you think
I
of the way,
think
though,
the plan went according to exactly what they were hoping for.
Yeah, no doubt about
with
it.
Len Barry and that whole deal.
Yeah, but I thought about that last night. I was like, that has to be so. It feels so long ago now, where he was like, there was so much discussion of sending him down to the minors.
Yeah,
and here he goes and scores 900 points. He's going to be the greatest player in the history of the franchise when it's over.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
2 cups.
Yeah,
if not more.
Yeah,
if not more.
What a career so far.
Crazy, and not stopping too. That's the great part about it. And here's Stamkos on grinding out wins that this team just continues to find a way. In fact, that's what they're calling themselves now, the Tampa Bay Findaways. And this is just what they did last night, a great adjustment in the middle of the game against Ottawa. And this is what this team does.
You got to give that team credit. They've obviously changed some things structurally, that weren't working for them at the beginning of the year. They clogged the neutral zone extremely well. So I think we saw that in the first period where we saw what we couldn't do, which was try to make some plays through the neutral zone. And, in the second period, I thought we made some really good adjustments and got pucks in deep and let the cycle game go to work. And I thought that was kind of the turning point of the game. You get one on the power play, and now we got the lead and we can play our style and force them to open it up a little bit. But, Vasi had to make some big saves when they had the chances. But I thought after the first, we had some good adjustments.
Really, really good job by the Lightning in making those adjustments, which is something they've been really able to do. And I thought Matthew Joseph was really good last night in dumping the puck in and getting the pressure going. And then, you get the lead in the second and you just hold on in the third. And that's something that they've been able to do really, really well. And, of course, Victor Hedman just continues to be, he's the best defenseman in the game. After having, not scoring a lot, not putting the goals in, he was getting points early on, but now 4 goals in the last 8 games for him after just 3 in his first 21, but he's shooting more. Here's Stamkos talking about that.
I mean, like I said, especially on the power play with some of the guys that we have out, it's, we could work on some different things and some different strategies, and it's not going to be as pretty as it is when you got Cooch and Pointer out there making plays. So, the past couple of games really shoot the puck. He's got a heavy shot, and as you can see tonight, went right through the goalie. So he's a big part of what we want to do on the power play, especially as of late. And that's obviously a game-winning goal tonight.
2-1 win for the Lightning last night, and they'll head on the road now. I think they'll go to Vegas. Maybe they'll play in Arizona if they're allowed to play in that arena. And Colorado, too. That'll be a nice little matchup. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Anthony Becht's going to join us for a couple of minutes. We'll talk about that performance by Travis Kelce last night. Guys just redefined the tight end position, and it is the golden age of the tight end. So we'll talk to the tight end, Anthony Becht, after this. Stay with us.
Who wants free mobile service? I do, and you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up. Is your health care way too expensive? Well, with the new Biden administration, health care laws have changed dramatically. Now you can get health care insurance through the Care Act for little or no cost to you. In fact, with the new laws, 90% of Americans qualify for reduced or free health care. Great plans like Florida Blue. That's my carrier. Absolutely love them. I'm paying $600 less after making the call. 877-652-0244. The representative will walk you through the whole process. Just get some basic information on your income, number of kids, and then they'll find a plan that best fits your needs. They know all the intricacies of these new laws. They will do all the work. You save tons of money. This opportunity will not last long, and you'll have to wait till 2022 to get the deal. So give them a call. It's real health insurance, free doctor visits, free blood work, no deductibles. 877-652-0244. 877-652-0244. Are you in the market for a refinance or looking for a new home? You got to call my man, Fitz the Mortgage Guy, Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. I have got literally a notebook here of testimonials on what a great job he's done for so many of our listeners. Scott saved me $1,200 up front. Scott paid for
Christmas time, like you said, if you're thinking about popping the question, you need to go to Gold and Diamond Source.
It's the Jewelry Supercenter, fully stocked, fully staffed, and yes, just a short drive from downtown Tampa or wherever you're coming from, right there on Ulmerton Road. Avoid the madness at the malls, and whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that 10-carat custom design, they have it all. 9 jewelers in-house ready to make your dreams come true. Even layaways, 100% interest-free financing up to 5 years. Shop now for your best selection at the Gold and Diamond Source and make your lady wonderfully happy like Nick did. That's absolutely. Shop anytime online at thegoldanddiamond.com.
Coming back at you. Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. If you have any roof damage, hurricane damage, sinkhole damage, defective stucco, or construction defects, he is your man to fight those insurance companies. 813-221-5636 or PalermoPA.com. All right, welcome in our resident tight end, the great Anthony Becht, who joins us now, former Buccaneer, former number 1 pick. And first of all, happy holidays, my friend, to you and your family. Rocco got all signed up with Iowa State. That's a big moment for you and your family. So congratulations on that. And the recruiting process being over. That must be a relief.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, appreciate that. Definitely exciting time, man. You know, really, it is a very, you know, it's a tough time for a lot of kids with COVID and getting coaches to see them and all the extra year for seniors. You know, just feel very blessed and fortunate that, you know, he had those schools that were, you know, looking at him and then offered him. So it's been a fun ride so far, and now it's good to sit back and watch.
And you got to coach him his senior year, and you guys had a great year getting to the playoffs. Tonight, Tampa Bay Tech takes on St. Thomas Aquinas for a state title. Tomorrow night, it'll be Jesuit against Pensacola Pine Forest. Boy, I tell you what, football around here, high school football, is just absolutely tremendous. Say a couple things about those teams.
Yeah, well, you know, we played Tampa Tech, you know, very well coached. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and they play well as a team. They're not weak at any position. They had a young quarterback this year, but really played well for them, and you know, had really good balance, I think, for them. So it's going to be a good one. I saw St. Thomas actually play Jesuit live when they played, and that was a really good game. A real sloppy game because it was wet, rainy. I think there's like 6 turnovers. So. Again, but they've loaded with talent. You know, Jason Taylor's the defensive coordinator for them, so it's going to be a good matchup. Of course, you had Jesuit. Just you know, it's been a nice run for them as well. Yeah. Really good, talented skill position players, and Todd Bowles' kid's a beast. Wade Woodaz is going to Clemson. The safety grew up with Rocco playing pee wee ball together. So just fun times for all those kids.
God, it must be great just seeing all these kids come of age and really have their moment, man. It's really good. It's really cool. And you know, watching last night, Travis Kelce do his thing. This is, has there been a better time in NFL for tight ends? I mean, the guys that are out there doing it now with obviously Gronk and Kelsey and Kittle and some of these other cats, it really has become one of the most dominant and important positions in the game.
It really has. I mean, I think everybody worries about the cornerback position and getting the best corners and trying to find the depth there, where linebackers and safeties, you got to kind of pick and choose your poison on what that you want their qualities to be. And unfortunately, cover to tight end sometimes is not the priority, or it's just tough to do. And the matchups and the ability that these guys have, I mean, that last catch and touchdown by Kelsey, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, you see a bunch of blue jerseys just diving and falling and not in the right spot. And, you rarely cut back into the middle of the field against the grain to make something happen, but he's just got such a great feel and speed. I mean, he's doesn't look like he's running fast, but he is going, and guys like Gronk who are accountable and in the right spot and catching traffic and, a lot of contested catches. It's not an easy position, very gifted, talented athletes at that size. It's pretty incredible to watch, but you're right. It is a very, strong time to be a tight end across the league.
Hey, and when you look at what Brandon Staley did last night and you're going forward on fourth down, shooing a couple of pretty easy field goals that could have been the difference in the game. I understand that. Yeah, I understand that aggressiveness, but man, I mean, you got to get points when you get points. And the other part about it is, how do you not shut down Kelsey and Tyreek Hill a little bit? It seems like the rest of the league has figured it out, and they just let Mahomes run out of the pocket as much as you want. Those guys were one-on-one all game long. It seemed like a very, very curious game plan by the Chargers.
Well, offensively for the Chargers, I kind of really impressed with Herbert and what they've done. And I just so clean. I'll tell you, Mahomes, as magical as he was, I kind of tweeted something out like, I rarely see like success and execution in the actual framework of the play, which is interesting, right? Because, it's great to make plays and create plays, but man, it's like, Andy Reid dialing stuff up and you can't win in the actual play. So, everything seems to be just moving around. I mean, I can't remember how many times Tyreek Hill just stopped, cut back, and went the other way just because, and now it turned into a street ball kind of play. So it's amazing there. I think it's tough to cover those guys. Especially when you start moving around, they're just so good, understanding space. As far as Staley's concerned, I mean, listen, I think he's a really good coach. I think he's really smart. Sometimes you're too smart for your own good.
Yep.
I think analytics are a part of the game. I think there's place for it in certain circumstances, but I think reasonably when you're talking about the NFL, December games they're going to be close. Every point matters. And you're right. I mean, you're not thinking about it. Like, okay, well, we didn't get this one. We get this one. We didn't get this one. Well, this one's got to hit because the probability said it. Well, sometimes if it doesn't, now all of a sudden you leave 9 points on the board and you're like, well, hell, this shouldn't even have been close. So I learned a lot from, I take notes. I watch those kind of things, and it's all about feel, gut, if your team's kicking ass up front, I get it. But in the same sense, man, there's a lot of points, but
Let's switch gears real quick to the Bucs Saints game, and they're 11-point favorites. The Bucs are, which I think is ridiculous. I know the Saints have struggled. They're beat up in some places, but their defense is still pretty much intact, and that defense is giving Brady fits. This is going to be a tough game on Sunday night. What do you think?
Yeah. Listen, I worry more about the Saints offense and what they're going to be able to do.
Really?
Taysom Hill, I was there watching them against the Jets. I mean, it didn't look real pretty, man. He's not healthy. The fact that he's a better option than Trevor Siemian, with a healthy 5-10 fingers is amazing to me. But Kamara's back, and he's a guy, so I would put most of my time in stopping him and let anybody else beat you and really crowd the box. I mean, it's dink and dunk and passes is kind of what Taysom was, very inaccurate over 10 to 12 yards because he just couldn't hold the ball. So, and then defensively, you're right. Cam Jordan didn't play last week, and I'm assuming now he's on the COVID list.
I think he's coming back.
He'll be available, and you're right. They do have a good plan. I think at some point the Bucs have to figure it out and be successful against them because teams will start grabbing blueprints and stuff like that. But you still have to have those players be able to do it. But yeah, you're right. I don't, that's a big number. I could easily see them winning by 2 touchdowns in this game, though. I mean, I've been pretty adamant about the big spreads with them, and they've covered. But,
yeah.
You're right. It should be. History says it should be a close game. I just feel I worry about the Saints offense. I just think the Bucs are going to be very overwhelming with them, but we'll see what happens.
All right, my friend, listen, you guys have a tremendous holiday and Christmas season there. Lots to celebrate in the Becht family. So thank you for taking time, and we'll catch up with you down the line. Thanks, Anthony.
You got it, man. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
And you can go to Anthony Becht's social media there. Just follow him on Twitter. Google him. He's got tons of content out there. Got a great podcasts as well. So check out all his great content. So look, as the Bucs head into this game, I think he's absolutely right about it might even be a kind of a low scoring game. Remember the last couple of times that they played, especially the last game, the Saints do something that most teams don't, and that's they take chances. They break their own rules, so to speak, in coverage. They'll come off guys when they're playing man to man. They'll just do things in a chess match with Brady. They know Brady knows all of their rules on defense. And when he sees a certain coverage, he knows what guys' responsibilities are. And when those guys don't do their responsibilities, it throws a little wrench in his reads. And so now, it's like this chess match, it's like, okay, we're going to show you one thing, do another. So now Brady's got to go, okay, I know you're going to show me that and you're going to do another. So I'm going to, double cross your double cross. And I'm going to, so now I have to figure out exactly what you might do. But Brady's usually pretty good at adjusting, and he hasn't really, and the Saints have had his number a little bit defensively. So I think, to me, that's where the fun of the chess match of this game is going to be between those two. So let's run a little Brady sound here before we go to our good friend Paul Wilson, our entertainment reporter. What do we got from Brady here talking about the Saints? Let's do number 17 there. How big is this Saints game for you guys? Tom Brady.
I think it's important because it's just the next game, and it's with the implications for winning the game are a great thing for us. But we haven't even talked about those things. I mean, I think it's a week to week league. If you don't win, it's because you didn't play well. So you got to think about how do we play well rather than how do we think about winning. And there's a plan to winning, but in order to win, you got to do the right things, and doing the right things, you got to practice the right things, and you got to prepare the right way. So it's kind of where our focus has been. Obviously we're all happy we're 10-3, but 11-3 is a lot better than 10-3. We're going to try to get to 11-3 against a team that's obviously given us a lot of problems. Always a tough team to play as long as I can ever remember playing football. This was a team that, is prepared. They're tough, physical. They got a lot of threats on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of veteran players. They got a good rush, some great linebackers. Demario Davis is one of the great linebackers in the NFL. I mean, it's unbelievable how he plays the game. And in the secondary, Marshawn and, Marcus and Malcolm and Roby's a phenomenal player. Debo's a great player. So they got players all over the field. PJ Williams picked me off there in the last game. That was still kind of pisses me off. It's probably 6 weeks later, but it's the reality of playing good teams and being a quarterback.
How about that, man? He's got a memory like a freaking elephant.
I was thinking that he just named out like he said Paulson Adebo, like their rookie, like 3rd round corner.
Yeah.
He just like pointed him out. But I thought you were going to start doing your little dinging game because he was on that.
He cliched it pretty good.
He did,
and he got a little specific though. There at the end. Yeah. No, he's got a score to settle with these guys, but that's not the way to go into it though. You can't be thinking about revenge. You got to play your game.
I understand, but the more
that's the setup.
I understand, but the more I listen to Anthony, I agree with him. Taysom Hill, there is no way I can imagine Taysom Hill winning a football game against the Bucs. I just can't.
It's a bad matchup.
It's a terrible
bad matchup.
He can't throw.
Yeah.
He cannot throw.
And if the Bucs are going to, stack the line, they can stop the run with 6 in the box, with 7. If they're going to play man on the outside, commit a safety, he got a chance. They got no chance to run the football. They got no chance to. But go look at you look at the Bills game and the quarterback runs. I mean, they torched the Bucs with those. But the Bucs had to sit back because there was a threat of the pass because of Josh Allen's incredible passing ability. They don't have to worry about that with Taysom Hill.
I don't think anybody's going to get open, truthfully, in this offense.
No, it's a bad matchup defensively for the Saints. I mean, I would look at the under in this game, to be honest with you. I don't think the Saints are going to score much. And when the Bucs get up, they tend to be like we saw last week when they get up 24-3. I think Brady gets a little conservative. He doesn't want to make mistakes. That's why he wins games. You're not going to put the ball in danger when you're up 24-3. That's a Jameis thing. So yeah, he gets it. He gets it. I want to play this one real quick. Creating his own NIL deals. Brady's new apparel company, Brady is the name of it. That's interesting. Is now giving out NIL deals to Shakur Sanders, Deion's son at Jackson State. I don't know if any of that money got funneled to Travis Hunter. We still haven't heard all that. But that's interesting. Now he's doing NIL deals. Here's Brady on that.
Yeah, that all changed pretty quickly. I mean, this is obviously for me, I think my apparel line's been in the works for like 3.5 years. So it's kind of cool that it happened at this time, and just with the NIL, the relationship with the athletes and the NC2A, how that changed. But I think it's really cool. It's really cool for me in the position I'm in. And I look back when I was that age, to have had the opportunities that some of these kids are getting is really cool. So I have a niece that's playing college softball that's been approached quite a few times. And I know Grant Brady has signed 10 athletes, Shador's a friend, Cade, but some really cool kids, that have a lot of aspirations. So just happy to kind of help them along the way.
That's pretty cool. And it's interesting how this is all going to be such a game changer now. And I love the power that the collegiate athletes have, quite frankly. And I know I see a lot of stuff on media from former FSU players and college players saying college football is dead as we know it. No, it's not dead. It's just changing. It's changing dramatically, but I still think you're still going to have your teams playing on campus, still rooting for your team. The fact that the kids have money doesn't change that. They're still going to play. We're still going to have games. It's not the end of the world. It's a different dynamic, but it needed to be different. All right, quick break. When we come back, our good friend Paul Wilson, local actor, media mogul, will join us with a review of Spider-Man: No Way Home. I think we got the name of the I'm not a big superhero kind of guy. I was a big Spider-Man fan growing up, but I'm interested to hear about this and some other movies when we come back.
JP here for Roof Max. And if you own a home or business with an asphalt shingle roof, listen up. Shingles are made from a petrochemical, just like the roads, so they get old, get brittle, and have to be replaced for tens of thousands of dollars. But not anymore. Remember this name, Roof Max. They have created a natural bio oil that is professionally sprayed on a dried out roof. It doesn't clean it, coat it, or seal it. It actually penetrates the shingle and brings back its bendability and weatherproofing properties to almost new. So the question is, does it work? Yeah, the research was done by Ohio State University independently, and it's clinically proven to work. It's guaranteed for up to 15 years. Now, one of the sharks on Shark Tank invested in this, so it's great, and they've successfully rejuvenated tens of thousands of roofs. So yes, it worked. So don't shell out $20,000 for a new roof. Call RoofMax at 352-559-9981 or go to roofmaxnorthflorida.com. That's 352-559-9981. Get it done for a fraction of the price of a new roof, guaranteed. Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now. So go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show with JP on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, presented by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. If you have any issues with stucco damage or any construction maladies from your new home, roof damage, sinkholes, hurricane damage, whatever it is, Christopher Palermo will fight for you against the big insurance companies. 813-221-5036, PalermoPA.com. And a big happy birthday to our next guest, the great Paul Wilson, actor, media mogul that you are. What's up, my friend? How are you?
I'm still reeling from seeing Spider-Man last night.
Spider-Man. Did you ever do the old jingle, the old music from the cartoon that I grew up loving so much? Never do that anymore.
Funny you mentioned that, because there is a bit of a presence of, let's say, the original.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's this, I think, for, Spider-Man's one of the unique, probably the most unique Avenger superheroes in the whole world, in the whole group, right? Because before Spider-Man, all the superheroes were adults. And now we got a teenage kid.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Peter Parker. So
Peter Parker,
this one is as big as it gets. And if you're a fan of Spider-Man like I am, and I think, the last movie made over $1 billion in 2019. And this one picks up right where that left off. And it goes all over the place. Let's put it that way. I know
you have to be careful
and
not throw any spoilers out. But I was reading a little bit this morning on Twitter. Some people that saw it last night. It's been universally lauded, 100% Rotten Tomatoes, all this, and I'm hearing it. It's one of the things I have about superhero movies is like they become extremely cliche. Just completely unbelievable. The acting is mediocre at best. Blah blah blah. But this one seems to be different. It seems to be a very intricate plot that people love. The acting is tremendous. From a critic standpoint, of your critical eye, what did you see?
Well, it's as visually stunning as the last several have been. The story has got a lot of heart, and it has, I'll say, something that not a lot of superhero movies could pull off, which is, let's call it organic humor. There's some real fun, entertaining moments. That's the one thing that Marvel, and certainly now that Disney is the parent company, has really figured out, and I'll say probably a little bit better than DC, is that they know how to entertain. The Marvel products entertain. And of course, Spider-Man is also unique in that that brand is shared by Sony and Disney. So that, and they had a deal for a long time that if Sony didn't make, a Spider-Man movie every couple years, then the rights would revert back. Well, and it was really acrimonious fight in the studio for a long time between those two behemoths. And now they're in much better shape and they're getting along. And I think this movie, similarly to the 2019 Spider-Man, they belong, you feel it on screen. The characters, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'll put it that way.
Nice.
It's as good. It's the best one in the whole series for me.
And it's one you got to see in the big theater too. It's not. This is not for home watching.
Unless you have like a 60-foot screen at home, you absolutely should see this. But much in the same way, Ghostbusters Afterlife was a lot of fan service, and you really kind of got into that. And I think fans will just lose their mind over this. When my son, who grew up with Spider-Man,
right,
who's 17, when we walked out of the theater last night, he said, "This is the best movie I've seen in 10 years." And he's a film critic.
That's awesome.
So what does that tell you?
All right.
It connects with a wide group of people. So.
All right, I'm taking the kids when they get here. I'm taking them. We're going to see Spider-Man. Dad's going to break down, and we'll finally go see a superhero movie for the. I'm a big fan of the Deadpool one. Those were my favorite because they make fun of superhero movies, and are incredibly funny. Love Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. That's my favorite superhero movies, but.
And that was rated R. That was one that it was social media and the internet that got that one going.
Mm-hmm. That was
Fox
brilliant.
Didn't know what to do with that.
That was brilliantly done. I love them both. All right, now King Richard is another one with our sports audience here. I mean, we grew up with Venus and Serena, that whole incredible just maturation of those young ladies from just being little teenagers to dominating the sport like nobody has ever done. Serena continues to dominate the sport in some ways. But this movie with Will Smith, who I think is a completely underrated actor, I think some of the stuff that he's put out has been some of the best. And you think he's got a little Academy Award nomination in this one?
He definitely does. And of course, the rise from virtual anonymity of these girls beating all the odds. I think this movie and biopics for the most part tend to focus on the subjects that they're really centered on. This one's told from the perspective of their dad and how he stuck to a plan, and no one believed him. In Compton back in the 80s, early 90s. I mean, that's a rough time. I mean,
black girls playing tennis in Compton. I mean, come on, that just didn't happen.
Well, you see the struggle. There's some great supporting actors, but it is a beautiful portrayal of these girls, and these young girls that play the young Venus and Serena are just adorable, and they really play well. And as a tennis fan myself, and played tennis when I was a kid, and I don't think it's giving it away, since a lot of this is known, especially if you're a tennis sports fan. But it wasn't Serena that got the professional coaching; it was Venus.
Yeah.
And we all know what happened to Serena, and that's explained in here. So it's a great movie. I think he's definitely going to get an Oscar nod. Absolutely.
All right. What about Night Valley with Bradley Cooper, Kate Blanchett? And is this has, I've seen the trailers, has everything I love. It's a period piece. It seems, and anything Bradley Cooper is in, I'm in. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but what do you think? What are you hearing?
Well, I mean, first of all, you've got just an incredible visionary of a director in Guillermo del Toro. I mean, the way he has changed viewing movies and into that story of, without being too gratuitous with CGI and light. I mean, but I'm a big fan of the 40s, so I haven't seen it, but I can't wait to see kind of New York in the 40s and this whole kind of carnival, just that whole world is going to be so visually arresting. And what incredible cast.
Yeah. Anything else out there that we should be going to see over Christmas?
Well, I mean, you can see my movie if you have eye on it.
Yes, I would love to. Which one is this? You have so many.
Well, thank you very much. No, this movie is called A New Lease on Christmas. It's on Ion tomorrow, actually. No, Sunday, and then Christmas Day.
Sunday.
But it's a story. I play kind of a real estate baron, as we set it in Chicago, but of course we shot it outside of Baton Rouge in the summer. We shot it almost 2.5 years ago. And Claire Coffey, who was on Grimm, the NBC show for like 89 episodes, she plays kind of a down-and-out girl real estate agent who's trying to get a job. I hire her, and her first job is to evict the man she just fell in love with, because I'm trying to build a mall. And her roommate is my estranged daughter. So then Santa Claus arrives.
Oh.
And we learn, it's not necessarily what you want for Christmas that you need. It's what you need for Christmas. So at the end, we all get what we need.
All right. So you play the villain in this one, at least early on.
I mean, as villainous as a holiday Christmas movie on cable can be. Let's put it that way.
Awesome.
It's sweet. It's a fun, sweet little movie. It debuted on Sunday the 12th, my birthday, of course. Frank Sinatra. Don't forget Frank Sinatra.
What's it called again?
It got great ratings, and A New Lease on Christmas.
All right, I'm gonna check that out. Writing that down. Hey, do we have a Van Wilson update? Are we gonna get a concert?
You're going to get an update in another couple weeks, perhaps, because we're zeroing in on a date. Let's put it that way.
All right. I will be waiting with bated breath, my friend. All right. Well, listen, thank you for your time. A happy birthday to you and a Merry Christmas to all your family there. Hopefully we can catch up when my kids get home this week. We'll all get together and have the Christmas cocktail. How's that sound?
You have a Yule log.
A Yule log, yes. Bring your Yule log. Absolutely.
I'll bring my Yule log and my golf ball as well, of course, because you never know.
And you're very
and
stiff
they will
shaft.
be washed.
Yes, very well. Yeah, than your driver. All right, my friend. Let's play golf. That would be much more fun, to be quite honest. All right. Have a great Christmas, my friend. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. See you soon.
All right. So you excited about Spider-Man now? Are you excited? You're going till 2 o'clock, right?
2 o'clock today.
The matinee?
Matinee.
Oh, you're serious. You are serious.
We got the whole gang going, too.
You got the whole gang?
We got 9 of us.
Nine?
We got a whole row.
A whole row.
A whole row.
Spider-Man posse?
Yeah,
You have a Spider-Man posse?
We've been, you're going to think we're such nerds. We were on Discord late last night talking about, a little pregame warm-up for Spider-Man, just last few things, getting it in. Take this stuff very serious.
Obviously,
very
you do.
serious.
Obviously, you do.
I didn't even watch the trailer.
You didn't even watch the trailer?
I won't even watch the trailer.
Because trailers give away too much.
Trailers, I
They really
swear,
do. They can ruin it.
These Marvel ones are like 3.5 minutes long.
Yeah, it's just that's the movie.
Yeah.
Right there. You can see the whole movie. I mean, if you know the concept and you know the characters and everything, you pretty much get the whole plot's given away.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Like sometimes I'll be watching a trailer, decide what they're going to do. And I'm like, sorry, stop it, because you're giving away too much of the plot. I don't want to know. No, I'm with you on that. I mentioned a little tease earlier about the fight this weekend. Jake Paul, of course, Tyrone Woodley replacing Tommy Fury. So I heard last night that Frank Gore may not be able to fight.
What?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Frank Gore?
So not to give away too much of what I learned last night. They have to pass their physical to be able to box. Florida Boxing Commission, they all have to pass their physicals. And there are some questions on whether Frank Gore should be boxing. We kind of fold this into CTE. They do MRIs of all the brains of all the players and the boxers and they can see things that are going on within the brain and so they have to, if there's certain things that they see, they don't want them to box. And Frank Gore played a lot of football. And then we fold this into what we learned from Vincent Jackson, the stage 2 CTE that he had. It's a thing. It's a thing on boxers. It's a thing for football players. And I think I don't know if this is going to be able to go forward, but that's supposed to happen tomorrow night. We'll see if they go forward with it. Frank Gore and Darren Williams. It should be fun. They sold a lot of tickets to this thing. Should be really, really fun. If you haven't, there's still tickets available. Check it out. I think it's Amanda Serrano's going to be fighting as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be very, very entertaining. Hopefully though, I don't know hopefully he gets out and he can box. I don't know if it's probably the best thing for him. All right, we will take a break. When we come back, Leo Haggerty's going to join us live from One Buck Place. There's been some developments at One Buck Place vis-a-vis COVID. We'll get the latest from him. The Bucs have just put out a release, so we'll let you know what's going on with the Buccaneers when we come back.
Who wants free mobile service? I do, and you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
JP, Santa, and young Saint Nick. Get us right over here. My partner for the Gold and Diamond Source. You hear that? Christmas music. It's Christmas time. You just popped a question to your lady from the Gold and Diamond Source diamond that you got.
Yes, I did. The Gold and Diamond Source, the best place to go get your diamond for an engagement. They helped me out so much. They were so courteous to me for somebody who was so nervous. And it's Christmas time, like you said. If you're thinking about popping the question, you need to go to the Gold and Diamond Source.
It's the Jewelry Super Center, fully stocked, fully staffed, and yes, just a short drive from downtown Tampa or wherever you're coming from, right there on Ulmerton Road. Avoid the madness at the malls. And whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that 10-carat custom design, they have it all. 9 jewelers in-house ready to make your dreams come true. Even layaways, 100% interest-free financing up to 5 years. Shop now for your best selection at the Gold and Diamond Source and make your lady wonderfully happy, like Nick did. That's absolutely. Shop anytime online at thegoldanddiamond.com.
Hey, JP here for the Blackrock Bar and Grill, and they got a new menu out, Johnny. This is unbelievable.
It's delicious.
So good. Of course, you get the steak on a 755-degree stone. You cook it right there in the garlic butter, the casino butter. It's fillets. You can do your shrimp on it, your chicken. It's unlike any other place. It's the Blackrock Bar and Grill. You got to go. It's a new menu. Tell them JP sent you. Brandon and Carrollwood. Get to the Blackrock.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's rock. This is FanStream Sports with JP.
All right, welcome back. JP Peterson Show brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. You can reach him at palermopa.com. All right, Leo Haggerty out there at One Place, and there is some news vis-a-vis COVID as all these teams go into more highly aggressive COVID protocols. What's up, Leo? How are you, my friend?
I'm fine, JP, and we didn't even get to practice today. It's pretty much shut down.
Really? So what's going on over there?
Well, I'll tell you what, after what happened with the Rams last night, they put their 20th player in COVID protocol. I think the NFL is like the little Dutch boy is trying to put the finger in the dike and he's out of fingers.
Yeah.
And they just said, okay, we got to go back to complete shutdown here. They don't want to shut the stadiums down like the Flyers of Montreal did.
Oh, that's not happening. That's not happening. God,
No.
I hope not. No.
No, I hope not
but
either.
none of the players, I mean, as far as what I'm hearing, none of the players are sick. And now, Baker Mayfield's complaining that, the testing is not uniform throughout the league. And, but I will, the league definitely did make an adjustment, and they've, I read a bunch of stuff this morning, very complicated, but basically they're readjusting how they're doing the testing. So like right now they're testing at such a high level and amplifying the virus. Like, it's just ridiculous, honestly, because none of these players are sick. And if they kind of dial it down a little bit to the viral load that would actually make you contagious in any way, guys aren't going to test positive. So I think that's going to help a lot. And I think hopefully the guys will test back in. You only need one or two negative tests, but they're changing the way they test, and I think it's going to make a big difference.
Absolutely. The biggest problem is you got 7 teams that are practicing remotely.
Yeah.
I don't know how that'll work. But
Yeah.
I got a feeling competitive balance for those 7 teams. They're at the bottom end of that state.
Yeah.
And that's not good, because what the NFL sells you on, and they're pretty good at it, is it's even playing field every day.
Yeah.
Every game. Now it's not. And that's a problem.
Yeah. So the Bucs are doing what? Are they practicing today?
They are practicing today. It's just Zoom, where we're going to talk to Arians after practice on the Zoom. And Sunday, everything's going to be Zoom from the press box.
Interesting. So not even letting the media in the rooms or anything, and that's interesting. I mean, I don't know how much that's going to help, to be quite honest. And it's just kind of interesting that they're doing all these things, and then they're letting them go out on Sunday and play in a game right next to each other. I mean, it's just, it doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of, I don't think it's comical. It's just strange that you look what's going on with the NFL. You look what's going on with the NHL, and that are these people that are testing positive, have they been vaccinated?
Yes.
I mean, if they've been vaccinated and testing positive, go, wait. You got a guy who's vaccinated. All right, he's test positive, but you don't even have the sniffles. I mean, what is happening here?
Well, first of all, the vaccines are working. Nobody's getting seriously ill, or the natural immunity is working. Nobody's getting seriously ill. We're shutting down the NFL for these guys. They don't even have a sniffle. The Omicron is it's a very, very weak virus, and but it's highly contagious. So we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We've lost focus on what we're supposed to be doing here, and it's about health, right? Well, these people aren't sick. You can test positive for, especially when you amp the testing and to detect the smallest viral load, which most people are going to carry, but it's not. Nobody is sick. So what are we doing? What are we doing?
JP, that's a $64 question. I think you got to or 500 NFL players that are asking the same question.
Yeah.
What are we doing? I mean,
the players are getting very frustrated. And Baker's the first one to come out. I think you're going to hear more and more and more players, especially when teams start, losing players and then losing in critical games. And they're sitting in their rooms and they're not even sick in the least bit. And so I don't know. It's a little bizarre.
Yeah, and it's just a crazy situation that the NFL they need to either make a decision. And what's really disparaging to me, JP, is the NFLPA has been silent.
I know.
They need to come out and act. And I think the reason they're silent is they're coming out on the other side of this. They're not going to come out on the side of the NFL. Hey, let's play. I think that's what's going to come out.
Yeah, the players want to play. The players want to play. They're not sick. They're, the health risks that they're going through, the actual real health risks that they're going through to play on a weekly basis are much more dramatic than this COVID. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. But it's all as we've seen with COVID from the very beginning, it's politicized. It's a lot of it is for show. A lot of it's theater. It is what it is. And I think, though, when it really gets down to brass tacks here and guys are losing paychecks not losing paychecks, but losing opportunities to go to the playoffs, going to get frustrated. I think Baker's just the first of many. But, of course, he gets such blowback, and people are writing stupidest stuff on Twitter like, well, you should be more responsible and not get COVID. I mean, come on.
It's not like they go out and there's a sign, hey, COVID here.
Yeah,
COVID
exactly. If you go out into the world, you go out into the world, this thing is everywhere. And especially it's Omicron, and it's everywhere. If you're going to be playing football and you're going to be out into the world, it's going to happen. But it's not that dangerous. We know that now. So anyway.
Absolutely. Hey, JP, how about them Bolts?
Hey, was that a game last night? This team just knows how to win. The findaways, right? That's what they're calling themselves now. The Tampa Bay findaways. Best record in the league in the last after the first 2 weeks. They're 17-3-3, 37 points, best record in the league. How about that?
Absolutely. And JP, I'll tell you what, Stamkos gets 900 points last night. And the nice touch of this whole thing is the Senators were saluting him too.
Yeah.
And I asked him this afterwards. He said, it's nice to be recognized by your peers. But I don't know if anybody caught this. When you looked at his points, I think he had like 4 less goals than assists. I mean, this guy's a machine on both sides, assists and goals. And the fact that they're doing this without Kucherov or without Point, when they get back, look out. This could get into overdrive in a hurry. How about the save 88 made the other night? I mean, on Kopitar. That was just phenomenal.
Yeah. And listen, it just goes to show that no matter, who you got and who you don't have, if you got 88, you got 91, you got Hedman, you got the core of this team is going to help you win each and every night. And that's why they're good with whoever's out there. And it's not to say that these young kids aren't playing well. Radish is playing well. I mean, he was on the power play last night. Cologne gets a goal. Colton is playing really, really well. And these young kids are stepping up in the moment. It's very, very impressive, extremely impressive.
Absolutely. And JP, you hit the nail on the head. As long as 88's in front of the net, you're always in the game.
Yep.
Always.
Absolutely. Hey, this Saints matchup with the Buccaneers. We were talking to Anthony Becht earlier in the show, and he talked about where the Saints offense is right now, and Taysom can't throw the ball down the field. They got Kamara back, but for the Bucs, they put 7-8 in the box, play a little man behind them. I think they're going to have a pretty good success rate against this Saints team. I mean, I worry Sean Payton's going to come up with something. He always does. But I don't see the Saints doing a whole lot offensively. I'm concerned about their defense, no doubt about that. But how do you see this matchup?
You know what, JP? We talked last year when Buffalo played Kansas City. I said to you that Buffalo put the blueprint on how to beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think Buffalo also put the blueprint on how to beat the Bucs. And the way to do it is you got to go into the game you're going to throw it 50 plus times because you're not going to be able to run the ball on them. And you want to throw it early because when the Bucs go in at halftime, make their adjustment, now you come out and you run the football a little bit. but the Saints don't have the guy that the Bills have under center, and that's the key.
Exactly.
Is you got to have a quarterback who's accurate enough throwing it, and he's willing enough to run the football himself, and that's just not going to happen. JP, I think this could get ugly early,
really,
especially if the Bucks and I don't know if you noticed this, but the Bucks like to take the ball right out of the gate, and you're going to have 7-0 to Tampa Bay. Look out, because you better score right away, and that's what was amazing last week, 24-3, and the Bills come back. JP, the biggest problem the Bucks have is health. Their secondary is being held together by a Band-Aid. And again, if they keep getting injuries, in-game injuries, and that's the thing that's really big, is that it's not like they can prepare a guy all week. It's all of a sudden the same quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But I still think they got enough firepower to beat the Saints.
Yeah, but that Saints defense does worry me. And they kind of got, if you can have Brady's number, they do. And I think Brady is definitely he's got revenge on his mind. He's still pissed off about the picks he threw last time. So we'll see. I'll be very interested to see how Brady plays and how this Allen defense plays against Brady and the Bucs. It's going to be a very interesting chess match.
Absolutely. And JP, if you notice, the games the Buccaneers have lost, defenses have been able to get to Brady and hit him early.
Yep.
That's the modus operandi. Put it in his head that you're going to be able to get there. That makes it a whole different animal.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, partner, tell everybody how they can get your content at It's Sports Magazine.
Yes, it's Sports Mag. And I put out my first article, my triumvirate of Christmas past. And JP, I put out 2 NFL things. One that you'll never see now that we saw in the past. How about a 9-yard field goal?
A 9-yard field goal?
When the goalposts were on the goal line.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I have a feeling Brandon Staley would forego the 9-yard field goal and go for it on 4th down, though.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I can't believe one of his assistants say, hey, we go up 7 if we make this. It made no sense.
Yeah.
And it cost them a football game.
It did indeed. All right, my friend, we'll check in with you next week. Have a great Christmas holiday, and we'll talk to you down the line. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely, and I'll see you on Zoom today and Sunday.
Yes, I will be there. Hopefully, I'll get a question in. All right.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. A couple other things before my man here takes over the show. Nick Geddes he says he has some surprises for you in the second hour. He's got some Brady sound, got some more lightning sound coming your way. Couple other stories I want to get to. I want to just wish a good luck tonight to Tampa Bay Tech as they take on St. Thomas Aquinas. You can watch those games, by the way, if you're a Spectrum customer on the FHSA portal. For Jesuit tomorrow night will play Pensacola Pine Forest for their first state championship, I think, since 1968. Now, they've been to the semifinals 6 of the last 7 years, finally getting to the championship game. So hopefully Matt Thompson and John Tuffer and the rest of the group out there will bring home a championship. Tiger Woods playing this morning in the PNC championship with his son Charlie. We'll be able to watch that all over the weekend. So they're playing in a Pro-Am today. You had some video you just showed me, Tiger taking a shot. Wasn't very happy with it.
No, not the most comfortable looking swing.
No, it was not. Looked like one of my swings, chunky, short. Yeah. It was it was not Tiger-esque, which we can't really expect this week.
You know what's great though? I saw him tee off too, his first one. Man, great crowd. Great crowd.
Yeah, nobody moves the needle like Tiger.
I miss
Woods,
seeing
man.
a great Tiger crowd where they're all down the entire fairway. I mean, even for this, it's great.
And just watching him and, to be able to do that with his son is just really, really, really cool. If you're a father, and to be able to, do something you love like that with your kid. And, it's interesting how he's going to handle Charlie. I mean, he certainly doesn't do it like his dad did to him. I mean, his dad was a hard ass. His dad made stuff really, really hard for Tiger and challenged him mentally. I mean, his dad was, a Vietnam veteran, military guy, and he pushed Tiger to the limits. Some would say maybe too much, maybe a little bit overbearing. So Tiger has the benefit of knowing that it takes a little bit of that, obviously, maybe a lot of bit of that to make someone great. But there's balance. You have to have balance. And it'll be interesting to see how he shepherds his son through this whole process. And the fact that his son was going to be under, he's going to be under a very, very glowing spotlight his entire life. But man, does that kid have a great swing. Has a great swing and certainly has a flair for the game, just like his dad. I mean, their mannerisms are just.
He's got the club twirl down.
He's got everything.
Everything.
It's just exactly like his dad. I mean, can you imagine as we will be able to maybe watch Charlie grow up? I mean, the odds of him being a great player, there's no way he's going to follow in his father's footsteps as far as that his ability, his numbers, win 15 majors. This is not going to happen. I mean, even for him to make it to the tour would be an incredible accomplishment. It's just so hard and so competitive. And genetics are great, but it's not everything. But if there's going to be a kid that's going to work at it and love the game and have the greatest teacher ever, he has all those benefits. It's going to be fun to watch him grow up in the game. And just watch him play this weekend. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, and Nick will take you the rest of the way here. And you guys have a great weekend. We will be back on Monday next week. Monday, Tuesday, we will be on shows. I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday. Just Monday, Tuesday. We'll be doing shows, and then we'll be doing a best of our baseball show, etc. We'll have over the holidays. So stay with us. Back at 3.
Are you in the market for a refinance or looking for a new home? You got to call my man, Fitz the Mortgage Guy, Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. I have got literally a notebook here of testimonials on what a great job he's done for so many of our listeners. Scott saved me $1,200 up front. Scott paid for my appraisal. Scott got my PMI taken off. Scott helped me pay off my car. Well, he didn't give them money, but he refinanced everything for these folks and showed them a great strategy to get rid of a lot of their debt. He's not just a mortgage broker. He's like a financial counselor, and he's passionate to get you the lowest rate and keep you from paying those upfront lender fees. You know those folks that say, we'll pay your closing costs? Well, then they come back and hit you with all these other fees. Folks, go to a local guy who's got a great reputation, been in the business for 20 years here, done 3,000 local mortgages. Scott Fitzgerald. Email him, scott@amstampa.com. That's scott@amstampa.com. Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now. So go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. We'll set up the limo for you. They'll come pick you up. Heck, we even picked up one couple, took them to Blackrock Restaurant, one of our favorite advertisers, and then to the closing. That's how they do it at Greenleaf Title. Great service. Will close anywhere. The lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com. Hey, did you start a new gig, a little side hustle during COVID? Well, if you don't have business insurance, you could be risking your personal fortune. That's how it works. JP here for Italiano Insurance. That's right. If you don't have business insurance, you can get sued and lose everything you've worked for. Not a good idea. Call the good folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. And if you have existing business insurance, shop it around. They could save you thousands of dollars as well. 813-877-7799. Who wants free mobile service? I do. And you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up. Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over 10,000 tokens and thousands of decentralized finance exchanges to navigate. So what do? You go to DeFiLava.com. The folks at DeFiLava.com are in Tampa Bay, and they work with you directly to set up custom accounts, answer all your questions, and provide market analysis. Decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies are here to stay and will change the financial markets as we know them. Get in the game. Get with the experts at DeFiLava.com and tell them JP sent you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at DeFiLava.com. Don't get left behind, folks. Make some money at DeFiLava.com. Who wants free mobile service? I do, and you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up. JP, Santa, and young Saint Nick. Get us right over here. My partner for the Gold and Diamond Source. You hear that? Christmas music. It's Christmas time. You just popped a question to your lady from the Gold and Diamond Source diamond that you got.
Yes, I did. The Gold and Diamond Source, the best place to go get your diamond for an engagement. They helped me out so much. They were so courteous to me for somebody who was so nervous. And it's Christmas time, like you said. If you're thinking about popping the question, you need to go to Gold and Diamond Source.
It's the Jewelry Supercenter, fully stocked, fully staffed, and yes, just a short drive from downtown Tampa or wherever you're coming from, right there on Ulmerton Road. Avoid the madness at the malls. And whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that 10-carat custom design, they have it all. 9 jewelers in-house ready to make your dreams come true. Even layaways, 100% interest-free financing up to 5 years. Shop now for your best selection at the Gold and Diamond Source and make your lady wonderfully happy like Nick did. That's absolutely. Shop anytime online at thegoldanddiamond.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back. JP Show on a Football Friday, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. And we spent a good deal that first hour talking about Bucs and Saints. Obviously, really big game here on Sunday. And for me personally, there's not many games the Bucs are going to play, opponents they're going to play that get me more juiced up than this one. There's always, to me, a more physical element to this game versus the Saints. Obviously, a team that's been a thorn in their side in the regular season in the past few years. And you're going to see a different quarterback once again. I mean, it's not Drew Brees back there. It's not Jameis Winston. It's not Trevor Siemian. It's Taysom Hill. And from the Saints' point of view, not sure why they gave him all that money to be a quarterback, a guy that got beat out by Jameis Winston before the season began at quarterback. They give him all this money, and he's almost like a decoy and this special little thing that they use in the offense for Sean Payton. But he's playing quarterback now. And so far, the sample size this year, although small, has been pretty. And I know he's been dealing with a bit of a finger injury, and he wasn't really good in that Dallas game after that. But you look at the numbers, he's played 2 games as quarterback. He's thrown 5 interceptions already. 5 interceptions. Completion percentage under 60%. It's just not good. And he's one of the poor quarterbacks in the league of throwing down the field. And I know the Bucs, they pride themselves on being a bend, not break defense. So not much of a concern anyways, usually, but definitely not with Taysom Hill there at quarterback. So I think matchup-wise, the Bucs are honestly in really good position to make it different this time around. It's also a day where they can win the division. They haven't won the division since 2007. 2007. I was in 3rd grade by then, okay? So I don't even hardly remember those days. So it's a big deal for my generation of Bucs fans to see them get the division. But obviously, this team has much bigger goals than that. Not much. They're probably not really paying attention much to what's going on in the division. And Bruce Arians has been steadfast in that all season long. And that's exactly what he said, calling it a T-shirt and hat game, that they're not really thinking about that as much.
No, it's not a T-shirt and hat game till it's over. If you think about it before, you'll be waiting for next week. So you talk about it, say, look, you have a chance to win the division this week. Let's get it done. But it doesn't bring any extra emotion to a game.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously going to say that. I think some of the players might be more different than that. It's obviously a Sunday night game. They're going to have that red out that's going on, which is going to look really cool visually. And if you're in the stadium, which it's been so great to see these full stadiums back, and definitely with the Bucs having so many Bucs fans in there, which is a far cry from what it used to be. So I think that the Bucs are going to come out and they're going to play really well. I know the line right now is at 11. I think that's probably far too much to assume the Bucs are going to win by 11 or more. So if you're betting out there, I'd probably take the Saints and the points on that one. But again, I do have my concerns of how the Saints are going to move the ball. And really, we always talk about Alvin Kamara. How much of a factor is he going to be? Are the Bucs going to be able to stop the pass game? Truthfully, I think they've done a much better job lately in the matchups they had against the Saints than usual. Devin White is obviously as good as they come at the linebacker position, shutting down the screen game and the run game. Don't know if Mark Ingram's going to be in there. So I think that's a great matchup once again for the Bucs. So it's going to be great, and I'm excited to be watching that game and definitely keeping my eye on that. So it's going to be interesting. And another guy who's obviously been playing great football for the Bucs on offense is Chris Godwin, who we love here on this show. Over 1,000 yards once again, on pace for a career season. And his connection with Tom Brady, especially the last 2 weeks, it's been different. There's no doubt about it. He's definitely cemented himself as the go-to option in this offense, even without AB in the lineup. And Brady talked about how important Godwin is to the offense yesterday.
He's playing incredible. Even the year before I got here, everyone was obviously, he had an incredible kind of breakout year where the whole league understood how great Chris was. And, before I met him, just his work ethic, watching it and then getting to know him and just seeing how much he puts into it week in and week out. It's really amazing to watch. So he's an incredible player, great teammate, cares about everybody on the field, just a great competitor, just come up huge in some big moments, and he's having a great season. So not surprising to any of us because we see it every day, but he's really an amazing player.
Yeah, he really is having a fantastic season there. And I think when the Bucs put all this talent together, we all kind of asked, there's so many mouths to feed. What's it going to look like? And it took a lot of time. I think Brady in the second year, and that's what they said all offseason, it was going to be different. They have found the perfect balance of getting everybody involved. It helps that the Bucs control the ball a lot more than most teams, and they throw it more than most teams. I think Brady's thrown it about 40 times a game. Sometimes he throws over 50 times. When that happens, everybody's going to eat. And you've had that happen. I mean, Godwin, games where he has over 10 catches, when Mike has, 5 for 70 and a touchdown. Gronk, the same thing as Mike. They've found such a great rhythm of getting everybody involved. And because of the type of receiver that they bring in, the character they bring in, even if some guy like Mike Evans, there's a few games where he doesn't get the ball as much, Mike's never going to complain. And that's just a rare thing to see out of a receiver. So the way the whole roster has been constructed, it has just been a masterpiece, and that's why they are where they are. And so, they know what they got to do here against the Saints, and I expect these guys. Marshawn Lattimore, obviously going against Mike Evans is a matchup we love to see every single time they match up. I think Mike has had his number lately, so definitely looking towards that one. Want to switch gears here back to the Lightning because we talked a little bit about them, have a little more audio here to get into. John Cooper last night talking about Taylor Radish, who picked up another point once again, and he's been playing up on the top two lines lately. And that's a guy who started out slow. He got that first goal, and he kind of got the monkey off his back. And lately he's been starting to come into his own, really showing why he was the top remaining prospect in the system.
Wow. Well, he's what you want to see in development. Draft pick, homegrown, brought in, development camps, minors, and then the NHL. And when your team kind of goes through many little cycles. And last year we lost a bunch of guys up front, and you need guys to come in and step in and take their spots. And he's a perfect example of a guy that now is getting his feet under him in the league. And as he gets comfortable here, he's contributing to our team. And so it's great to see that, not only him, but, Bo and, Forche's come up now and the way Colton's developed, but I just testament to the system and the guys down in American League bringing these guys along.
And he called it there. I mean, the Lightning scouting department, probably the best in the NHL. When you look at some of the guys they found in the later rounds, they've been a really good team for a long time, and their development system has just continued to keep going. And I think, last year when they brought up kind of the last of that wave, the Coltons, the Josephs in the last few years, a lot of people said this is probably the weakest system in the entire league. And, I think I looked at that and I said, well, maybe they're not high prospects to you, but when they get on this team and this system, as John Cooper said, they play like top prospects. And I think that's what you've seen. I mean, Kachuk, he can handle himself. We saw the fight against Chara a few weeks back against the Islanders. That's a guy who can handle himself in this league. Radish is starting to score. Ross Colton, who John Cooper mentioned, has turned into one of the most important pieces on the Lightning outside of the big guys. And he talked about him as well, not putting the puck in the back of the net as much as he likes, but he's getting really close.
I think, first of all, too many players judge themselves on how many points they get. And last year he comes in much like Bo and Ratty and these guys are this year. But we have a different team, and he, contributes, he scores. And I just remember, it reminded me of Yanni Gord too. Like, these guys came in right away and scored, and then, they got to find their way because it's hard to get 900 points in this league. Not everybody can do that, but what he contributes other side face-offs, he's more responsible. He's a pretty tenacious kid, but he has a skill level to play anywhere in the lineup. And at some point, these guys, you have to move up. And he's one of those guys that's really worked at his game. Maybe not in the points he has wanted, but he's delivered for us and earned his ice time, and he's doing a great job.
Yep, really important piece to the Lightning there. He had that shot yesterday on the power play, I believe it was. He was playing in the Cooch kind of position, and he rang right off the crossbar. He's just, that's how it's been all season long. He's been really close, but he's starting to be more noticeable on the ice this year, him and Matthew Joseph. So that's definitely great to see. Lightning are now going to go out west after going around to Canada and that long road trip they had. Now they're going to go out west, and Colorado awaits, Vegas awaits. Those are two of the best teams in the West, two of the most talented teams in the West. So those are going to be really difficult games. If they beat teams like that, then the Lightning are going to prove they're for real. So definitely going to be interesting to watch. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I'm going to be joined by a friend of mine at UCF, now works for the Magic in the broadcast department. John Green will join us when we come back, diving into what is going to be a fantastic NFL weekend. Stay with us.
Are you in the market for a refinance or looking for a new home? You got to call my man, Fitz the Mortgage Guy, Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. I have got literally a notebook here of testimonials on what a great job he's done for so many of our listeners. Scott saved me $1,200 up front. Scott paid for my appraisal. Scott got my PMI taken off. Scott helped me pay off my car. Well, he didn't give them money, but he refinanced everything for these folks and showed them a great strategy to get rid of a lot of their debt. He's not just a mortgage broker. He's like a financial counselor, and he's passionate to get you the lowest rate and keep you from paying those upfront lender fees. You know those folks that say, we'll pay your closing costs? Well, then they come Greenleaf Title. Great service, will close anywhere, the lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Nick Yetty's going solo here in the second hour of our show. It's been a great football Friday. Lots of Bucs talk, Lightning talk. I want to give a shout out to our great sponsors, the Gold and Diamond Source, the law offices of Christopher Palermo, American Mortgage Service, Blackrock Bar and Grill. Thank you for allowing us to do what we do. And I am glad to be joined here by a friend of mine from UCF and also working with the Magic now, Sean Green. Sean, how you doing today?
Good, Nick. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, and it's great to catch up with you and get you on here. And before we start, I have to tell you, are you a Marvel guy? Because I know there's a big movie that just came out. I'm seeing it after the show today. Are you a big Marvel guy?
Nick, I'm a huge Marvel guy. Let's just say I did see it yesterday before
right.
the football game, and let me tell you, it's incredible.
All right, well,
it's one of the best Marvel movies I've seen, so I won't spoil anything.
Yeah, don't spoil anything,
move on.
Please.
I will not. I promise I won't, but for the people that have not seen it and are wanting to see it, great movie. It's well worth the money.
Yeah, we had Paul Wilson on who played in The Conjuring earlier, and he was breaking down that movie, and I prefaced him like, you better not spoil this movie to me. And he said the same thing.
No.
It's like a master, like the best Spider-Man, he thinks. So I'm jacked up to see it. I got a lot of friends going to see it today. We're going to take up a whole row, so it's going to be great.
I would assume it is very good. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. You have to text me after.
You bet. I want to get back to the NFL here, and we talked a lot of Bucs, but I want to talk about the whole grand scheme of things because we are in Week 15. We're heading towards the playoffs. First and foremost, I don't know who's playing this weekend. I mean, you better off telling me who is playing this weekend. I mean, that's where we're at with COVID, and so many guys. I think over 100 players have been put on the list this week. I think Taylor Heineke was just announced as out. Baker Mayfield's not playing. Those are two teams who are in a playoff hunt, and they're not going to have their starting quarterbacks this week. So what do you think of all this COVID craziness going on right now?
Well, Nick, I think you can see it throughout all of the sports leagues. NBA, NFL are pretty much taking a big hit right now. It's crazy. You're seeing this wave come around all these leagues. You're seeing people that have the extra shots start to get it. But the good thing that I will say is most people and most of these players are not feeling any side effects. So clearly there's something going right. The protocols are working. Contract tracing is working in these leagues. But like you said, it's a craziness. Like we're getting to big games in the NFL where playoff spots are being chosen. And when you think about it, like Cleveland is a great example. Baker Mayfield looks like he's out, and then also Case Keenum's out. So you're going with Nick Mullins, who barely has played a game in 3 years. So it's very frustrating. We really have to look at the bigger picture here and say, what can these leagues do at this point, after everything that's been implemented, to move forward and say, okay, we're going to go with these games. We're going to deal with this. Because you look at the NBA, right? You have some teams that can't play games and have to get games canceled because they don't have the minimum number of players. So hopefully the NFL can kind of get this situated, get this figured out. But you feel bad for the teams that are in the playoff hunt and some of their top players are taking a seat in these big time games.
Yeah, and I don't claim to know what the answer is to all of this. I'm not a scientist. I don't have any of that info for you. To me, though, I mean, these players were promised, you get vaccinated, you do all the right things, and your life was going to be much easier, and the season was going to be much easier. And I know a lot of players are very frustrated with that. And it expands to other leagues. I saw Draymond Green yesterday had a back and forth with a reporter, and he's like, I mean, I've done everything I can do. I don't know what else to do, and I've taken the booster shot and all this. It's so hard to navigate right now. I hate that it's happening during crunch time for the NFL right now, and it's impacting these games. But yeah, it is what it is. It's definitely, we're not out of things yet. But for the games that are going to be played, or go ahead.
No, we're not out of it yet, Nick. But I think the most important thing is these players have to stay vigilant. Like, we have to be careful and make sure that these games do get played. They're not doing anything stupid, because clearly there are outbreaks happening around the entire league. It's not just in one specific place. So hopefully these players just stick to the grind, stay focused, get through these next couple months, and then they get a nice long off season so that they can enjoy time with their families and not have to worry about all the stuff.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And but switching gears here to the games that we know are going to be played in the biggest games of the week. There's a pretty big one on Saturday night. I know you're going to be keeping your eye on this one. Patriots and Colts. Patriots, number 1 seed right now. I don't know who would have saw that coming. Clearly, there's no reason to ever doubt Bill Belichick. I mean, he's a fantastic coach, and he's proved it this season, his worth to that franchise, and he is the best coach in the NFL, in my opinion. You got a Colts team right there that's really been riding hot on Jonathan Taylor. But what do you see for that game? I mean, Carson Wentz, I don't think he's a great matchup to go against Bill Belichick. What do you think?
I'll be honest, I agree with you, Nick. I think this is a big match when it comes to the quarterback play. I get it. Mac Jones is a rookie, and we're going to treat him as such, but he's outperformed and overexceeded expectations throughout the league. He got put in the perfect position, you know? I think you could say Carson Wentz got put in the perfect position for him, but he is really leaning heavily on Jonathan Taylor. I think the Patriots are going to come out and show a lot of different matchups, a lot of different coverages to confuse Carson Wentz, because the one thing you will say about Carson Wentz is he does not protect the football. And when he sees a coverage he doesn't really understand, he's bound to make mistakes, and he's bound to do something that maybe the Colts won't want him to do. I think when it comes to it, Nick, I think the real focus is going to be how can Mac Jones perform against this Colts defense. I think the Patriots do the upper end, even though the Colts are favored. This Colts defense is pretty incredible. There's no question about it. If Patriots can have that play action pass game, can run the football effectively, and be able to get a couple big deep shots, which Mac Jones has not been privy to throughout the year, then I think the Patriots have a really good chance. I will say, you know me, I probably would have said I thought the Patriots were really good. Right before the season, did I think first seed? No, absolutely not. But the AFC is so up in the air right now. Like, you have a Colts team right now that's in the wild card, that's in at 7-6. And I say they're a dark horse, to go the AFC Championship. That's how good they are. So like you said, it really determines how Carson Wentz is going to play, because the Patriots, we both know, their number one game plan is going to be taking Jonathan Taylor out of this game and making Carson Wentz win it for the Colts.
Yeah, as the season's gone on, I've become a huge Mac Jones fan. I actually came on this program after that Week 4 game, and everybody was singing the praises of Mac Jones. And I was like, what are we singing the praises for? What did he do that was special? I didn't see it, I guess, in the first 4 weeks of the season. That was a different Patriots team. That was a 2-4 football team. But they did give the Bucs their best shot on a rainy night there in New England. And I guess this is picking up a lot of steam right now, but a lot of people are saying that it could be Bucs and Patriots in the Super Bowl in Los Angeles. That would be quite the storyline. And I got to tell you, if that happens, I'm going to peace out for those 2 weeks of preparation for the Super Bowl. How likely do you think at this point we get a Bucs-Patriots Super Bowl?
Here's the thing. There's a lot that can happen. Like I just said, the AFC is a wide open race. I think we can both agree, Nick, and we've had our conversations over the past, but the Bucs just look primed again this year. Everybody talks about the shiny new toys, the shiny new teams, Aaron Rodgers consistently, the Packers. You got the Rams, right, with pretty much the super team of the NFL. You got the Cardinals who, didn't win last week. They lost to the Rams, which was a really big disappointment for that team. That would have looked really good on their resume. But the Bucs look primed. Like, they're hitting their stride at the right moment. But that's every year with Tom Brady teams. And to be honest, there's not a team in the NFC that impresses me enough to say, hey, if they're in the NFC Championship against the Bucs, they're going to take them out. I just don't see that.
Well, what about Green Bay? What about Green Bay?
Here's the thing about Green Bay. They have disappointed me every year. Last year, I said, I think that was last year. Aaron Rodgers, there was all this hoopla about Aaron Rodgers, and this is his year. This is what his time is. He won the MVP. That was his year last year. They were at home. They were good. They had it. Tampa Bay came in playing back-to-back road games, came in, beat Aaron Rodgers on his own turf, and went to the Super Bowl and won the entire thing. I'm sorry, but the way it looks like right now, the Bucs have a very easy schedule moving forward. Looks like they're going to have the 1 seed potentially going into the playoffs. So everything goes through Tampa. I don't think Aaron Rodgers and this Green Bay team has the capacity to come into Tampa and beat the Bucs at their own game. I just don't personally see it. I think it'd be a good game. I think it'd be competitive. But at the end of the day, the Bucs are built for the Super Bowl. They have the best player to ever play in the NFL, the GOAT, as people label him, to lead this team to another Super Bowl. So I know around the country, people, I don't think, want to see that. They want to see, I think the Cardinals are kind of the nation's team right now. They want to see the young guys get in there.
Not the
But
Cardinals,
at the end of the day, I think we agree. It's probably Tampa, Green Bay in that NFC, and then probably Tampa moving on.
I totally agree. And I know the national media, they have a job to do, and that's usually to stir the pot and say some outlandish things. And it feels like Tom Brady, and I guess you dealt with this as a Patriots fan for a while, every throw he makes, it's news. It always is going to be news. And I'm sometimes I'm sick of it, to be honest, because I think everybody just they're really quick to start doubting him, and I don't know why people do that. I think he's the MVP of the league personally. And a lot of people keep saying, oh, there's so much more meat on the bone in the Bucs offense. They're very inconsistent. They're the number one offense in the league. They just won a Super Bowl, for crying out loud, last year, and people were saying the same thing. Am I really, is it hard to say, or wrong to say rather, that even though the Bucs, they might have another gear that they can get to, the current gear is just fine, is it not?
The current gear is fine, but you have to so the problem with the perception of the Bucs is the same problem with the perception of Patriots teams throughout the years. It's, you have a point in the middle of the season where it just doesn't look the best. It looks like you have problems.
Right.
I think after the Bucs bye week was the reason people started looking and say, is this team good enough? But as a Patriots fan for many years and watching every rep of Tom Brady and the way that these teams operate, they have that little dry spell. And you saw it with Tampa last year. Tampa, everybody, listen, they had to go on the road to get to the Super Bowl. That was the fact. They had a dry spell. This year, that was a very small dry spell there. This offense, like it or not, is going to be firing on all cylinders. They've got the weapons. They've got the pieces. Yes, are they going to be rough in maybe a week 12 or week 13? Absolutely. It's a long season. They're bound to have a couple games where it just doesn't look efficient. But we both have seen it. The problem, Nick, and this is the problem, people look at Brady and they don't find anything he does too crazy. Yes, they say he's the MVP, and he definitely deserves to be the MVP this year. There's no question. But it's Tom Brady. So they hold him to this standard that is just unattainable for anybody, even Tom Brady. So the fact that the Bucs win by one, it's, oh, they didn't do enough. That offense didn't do enough. You're kind of seeing it with the Chiefs right now as well. Now the Chiefs have a lot more problems on their hands, especially with the defense, but the offense hasn't been consistent. But we both know at the end of the day, the offense is going to be fine. So yes, I do think the media and a bunch of other problems have arisen where they think, oh, the Bucs offense needs to get to another level. But this level, like you said, this gear is 100% just fine for what the Bucs are trying to do, and that's to go to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, I think, is more than fine with what this offense is doing at this point in the season.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you brought up the Chiefs offense there. Everybody was saying at the beginning of the year, well, the Chiefs aren't good. They're frauds. And I'm sitting here like, whoa, hold up. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Tyreek Hill. It's Travis Kelce. It's Andy Reid. They'll figure it out. They will figure it out. I don't think they've figured it out quite yet. There's still a lot of inconsistencies, but hey, they're scoring 30-plus points a game. I mean, the last few weeks. Again, just like the Bucs, I think what they do now is enough, and they found a happy medium with their defense as making enough plays. I know their defense wasn't great out last night, but Justin Herbert's a really, really tough quarterback to defend against. You watched that game last night. What did you see from the Chiefs? They look like, to me, they look like they're on a collision course, just like Brady and Rodgers are to me. I think it's going to be Belichick and the Patriots versus the Chiefs there at the end. Do you think the Chiefs right now are that team?
I do, and I know everybody likes Baltimore, and I understand why. Lamar Jackson is a shiny toy that can run. He can make certain throws. But let's be real here, Nick. I think we think very similarly. The Chiefs are this team in the AFC that is always going to be there at the end when you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. The problem that I find with the Chiefs, and this is why I don't know if it's Super Bowl bound this year. I don't see it for happening because if we're looking last night, for instance, right, besides the fourth quarter, the Chiefs struggled. They put 7 points up in the first, and then they put only a field goal up in the second and a field goal up in the third. The only problem with the Chargers is they were just as inconsistent, not putting up any points in the first or third quarters. Now, they went off in the second and fourth, but against Kansas City, again, the blueprint is just continue to score on them, continue to put up points, and at the end of the day, you put the pressure on Patrick Mahomes. I think the Chiefs are good. I think they're good enough to get the AFC Championship. But when I'm looking at some of these teams that could potentially beat the Chiefs, I look at a team like the Colts. I look at a team like the Patriots. Very stingy defenses that really have problems, but the Chiefs have problems with the run. What can the Colts and Pats do? They both can run the football. Play action game. The Chiefs are not good in play action. Their corners do not play good in that type of game. So I think the Chiefs obviously are a good team, but the fact that they struggled so much with the Chargers last night and just won is the problem I foresee. Good team. The offense is fine, but just as good as the offense is, the defense is just as bad. So that's going to be the problem with the Chiefs moving forward.
Well, I think the defense, though, has played really well the last few games. When the offense was really not getting it going, I think the defense was actually picking them up until last night, where Patrick Mahomes, it's odd with him. I mean, he moves out of the pocket. He looks better than just standing in the pocket. I can't really make much sense of it. When it gets down to crunch time in a game, he makes better plays. He's one of those guys, and that's why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But we're going to take a quick break here, and when we return, we're going to continue the discussion here, talking about the NFL weekend and breaking it down, and also a great discussion. I don't know if anybody's noticed out there, but who's still on top of sports right now? It's the old dogs, and we're going to get back into that when we return in a few minutes.
Are you in the market for a refinance or looking for a new home? You got to call my man, Fitz the Mortgage Guy, Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. I have got literally a notebook here of testimonials on what a great job he's done for so many of our listeners. Scott saved me $1,200 up front. Scott paid for my appraisal. Scott got my PMI taken off. Scott helped me pay off my car. They didn't give him money, but he refinanced everything for these folks and showed them a great strategy to get rid of a lot of their debt. He's not just a mortgage broker. He's like a financial counselor, and he's passionate to get you the lowest rate and keep you from paying those upfront lender fees. You know those folks that say, we'll pay your closing costs? Well, then they come back and hit you with all these other fees. Folks, go to a local guy who's got a great reputation, been in the business for 20 years here, to 3,000 local mortgages. Scott Fitzgerald. Email him, scott@amstampa.com. That's scott@amstampa.com. Hey, JP here for the Blackrock Bar and Grill, and they got a new menu out, Johnny. This is unbelievable. Some incredible burger creations. Here's my new favorite, mac and cheese burger. A pound, half pound of certified Angus beef, American cheese, bacon, finished with our macaroni and cheese. Are you kidding me? Or a nacho burger with fried jalapenos, grilled onions. They got a ghost pepper chipotle burger. That's hot. Or the Fat Elvis burger. I mean, there's so many good burgers on this thing. It's amazing. What do you like?
I've been taking a look at the seafood section of this summer menu. 8 jumbo shrimp. Unbelievable, man. And it goes perfectly with their burgundy mushrooms.
Oh, I love the mushrooms.
It's delicious.
So good. Of course, you get the steak on a 755-degree stone. You cook it right there in the garlic butter, the casino butter. It's fillets. You can do your shrimp on it, your chicken. It's unlike any other place. It's the Blackrock Bar and Grill. You got to go. It's a new menu. Tell them JP sent you. Brandon in Carrollwood. Get to the Blackrock. Who wants free mobile service? I do. And you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and it'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
JP, Santa, and young St. Nick
Get us right over here. My partner for the Golden Diamond Source. You hear that? Christmas music. It's Christmas time. You just popped a question to your lady from the Golden Diamond Source diamond that you got.
Yes, I did. The Golden Diamond Source, the best place to go get your diamond for an engagement. They helped me out so much. They were so courteous to me for somebody who was so nervous. And it's Christmas time, like you said. A pop question, you go to Golden Diamond Source.
It's the Jewelry Supercenter, fully stocked, fully staffed, and yes, just a short drive from downtown Tampa or wherever you're coming from, right there on Ulmerton Road. Avoid the madness at the malls, and whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that 10-carat custom design, they have it all. 9 jewelers in-house ready to make your dreams come true. Even layaways, 100% interest-free financing up to 5 years. Shop now for your best selection of the gold and diamond source and make your lady wonderfully happy, like Nick did. That's absolutely. Shop anytime online at thegoldanddiamond.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. We are still joined here by Sean Green, who works inside the offices of the Orlando Magic. Continuing our discussion here of the NFL. And you said something during when talking about, I think, the Ravens-Packers game, the shiny new toy. Everybody falls in love with the shiny new toy. And I've been on this for a long time. I think social media dictates way too much of who we think are the stars of leagues, who we think is good, who we think's bad. I think it dictates it way too much. And everybody has been talking about this great wave of young quarterbacks, this great wave of young coaches. And I'm looking around the league, and this goes through all about sports. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Aaron Rodgers, Bruce Arians, Andy Reid, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Chris Paul. You go to the NHL, Alex Ovechkin, Sydney. Everybody that's still on top of their sports leagues are the old guard who everybody has, to me, just put to the side for the new guard. And I think that that's a disservice. Sean, do you see that the same way? Because I'm seeing that a lot, how we fall in love with the shiny new toy, but they're not the ones running the league still.
No, and I think, Nick, you see it. Everybody has fallen in love with the shiny toy for years, right? Like, you look at Patrick Mahomes. Now, granted, Patrick Mahomes is great, and he's going to be running the NFL for years to come. But I think when you look at deeper options like Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, we like to give these players the next big thing. We like to say they're the next big thing. And you don't tend to realize that these players need time, Like, yes, Tom Brady is the old toy. He's the guy from 2000 that won the Super Bowl, 2000, 2003, 2004. He's older, right? He's not the guy that can run out of the pocket and throw a 55-yard pass on the run. Unfortunately, nowadays, that's what's fun for people. Why do you think the Spurs were not fun for people, right? When they're in the finals, they wanted the Heat to win. They wanted LeBron and the Heat to just dismantle the Spurs. Unfortunately, the Spurs are that team that are very consistent, and they'll get to the finals. Now, granted, they're not the flashy toy. They're not the thing that's going to take the half-court shot. They're just the consistent team. So I think when you look around these leagues, it's incredible to see a guy like LeBron and Tom, two guys that have been at the top of their sport for so long, still running the show. These young guys will get their time. At some point, Tom's not going to be in the league. LeBron will not be in the league. But you definitely see that people like to move on from these guys quicker than they need to. Just let these younger guys develop. Have fun watching them. But at the end of the day, like you said, Patrick Mahomes against Bill Belichick is a mismatch for Patrick Mahomes. Just like Justin Herbert, you see those guys. So your assessment is true, Nick, and I think you should preach to the people even more about that sentiment.
I've been doing it forever. I need people to listen to me here. I mean, it really gets on me. And I'm not anti-young by any means. I'm a young guy. I think the quarterback position is as fun as it's ever been. It's going in the right direction. I love it. I just want everybody to respect their elders just a little bit. That's all I'm asking. And
that's what my parents taught me. Respect your elders, and you'll do fine. So I understand that aspect 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And while I have you here, before I let you go, I did want to touch on this just a little bit. We don't talk basketball much in this program, but because you are so connected with what's going on with the Orlando Magic, and that's our closest hometown team, I guess you could kind of say. Listen, I've watched a few Magic games this year. They're not winning games. There's no doubt about that. But I think you'd say that more than previous years, they're an entertaining watch, correct?
They're very fun to watch, and the future is very bright for the organization. Like, listen, we all know they went into a rebuild, but the rebuild is going to propel this team hopefully back to where it used to be. A lot of young guys to be excited about. So I definitely think I believe Bally Sports Florida, you can watch games because it is very fun to watch. Not a lot of winning right now, but these young guys are going to progress through the year and get a lot better. Franz Wagner, Cole Anthony, two guys that have really impressed early on. So definitely recommend, if you watch basketball or kind of want to see who the next best team in Florida is down the line, to check out Bally Sports Florida and watch the Magic.
Yeah, they are a fun watch. If you got something, if you don't have much to watch on a random Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night when they're mostly playing, turn on the Magic. You're going to watch some really good young player. And last one too, I just remembered this too. UCF coming here for the Gasparilla Bowl next Thursday. You're going to be at the game. You're a UCF alum, just like I am. What's your thoughts on that one?
I think UCF blows them out 40-10.
Whoa.
Yeah, listen. Knights all the way. No bias whatsoever.
Yeah, it sounds like
professional. 100%, Nick. You know me. I don't bias anything. No, it should be a good game. I think going to the city of Tampa, that stadium is going to be rocking. It's pretty much full. They sold out their ticket allotment, so it should be a really fun day in Tampa. So definitely the people that are going, it should be a really fun one. Two franchises or two schools that absolutely hate each other. So should be a fun one. Very excited for that.
Don't let the UCF community know, or the mafia, as they say on Twitter. But I got the Gators in this one. Just saying. You can take my diploma away all you want, but I got the Gators.
I'll let the mafia know, Nick. We'll let them after.
You know what? Get the mafia out there, because they run their mouth just a little too much for my liking. They run their mouth. Yeah, I already told you.
Have to. You got to.
And I told you I'm not turning on my UCF Knights, but I told you a few weeks ago, you can look at USF's record all you want, but they're going to be a much better football team in the next few years. Number 1 transfer portal class. I'm just saying.
Maybe next few years, but let's hope not next Wednesday. Let's hope that.
All right, Sean Green right there works inside the Magic organization. Thank you for joining us, Sean, and have a Merry Christmas and stay safe out there.
You too, Nick.
Thank you. All right, great discussion there. We're going to take it home right here. No breaks needed. And I wanted to dive into a few things real quick. When JP was still here, we mentioned a little bit Tiger Woods playing alongside his son, Charlie, making his monumental return back to golf and here in this program. And, we'll probably never know the specifics about what happened almost a year ago in the car accident. Tiger doesn't want to talk about it. He says it's all in the police report. It's not, but that's fine. The most important thing is he's still here and he's still trying to play golf. And I didn't think he was ever going to play again. We had doctors on this show soon after, and they said he would never play again. And what he's always done is he's defied odds. That's what the great ones do. And when I saw Phil Mickelson, I said this, when I saw Phil Mickelson win the Open, or the PGA Championship rather, in the summer, I said, I bet Tiger's watching that thinking, I got the last laugh in this rivalry at the Masters. You just got it. Now I got to get it back. I don't know if Tiger Woods is ever going to be competing for majors again. He even admitted that a few weeks back when he spoke for the first time, that he's just going to be playing events here and there. He doesn't know if he can get back to the top, but the fact that he's out there today alongside his son, I think it's an inspiration. I really do. And for his son, what a moment to share the stage with your dad on that. I just can't imagine that. And to see the crowds there up and down the fairway at the PNC going crazy when he hits the ball, I think that's the most important. So regardless of what Tiger's done, how much success he has moving forward in the game of golf, the fact he's out there, I think it just shows the kind of guy that he is. And we talked about some of the swings that I've been looking at. Probably not the most comfortable looking vintage Tiger Woods swings, but he's out there. And I think that definitely means a lot. And but to end here, I just wanted to also tie a bow on what we saw. We talked a great deal about it on Wednesday, early signing day. Obviously, Travis Hunter flipping his commitment from Florida State, number 1 overall recruit, flipping his commitment from Florida State to HBCU, Jackson State, as head coach by Deion Sanders. And I know a lot of FSU people are ready to burn Mike Norvell at the stake. And, they created the whole Mike Norvell, fire Mike Norvell space on Twitter, which I think, frankly, is ridiculous. This is not Mike Norvell's fault. This is just a case of, I think he wants to be that kind of flag bearer for the HBCU. And you can't fault him for that by any means at all. I think it's a great thing for college football. We don't know what the NIL is doing, what's going on there, if Barstool's involved. I know Deion denied that all yesterday and said that's just an excuse because we got your guy. And I do kind of tend to agree with that. And Travis Hunter, listen, this is not going to deter him from going to the NFL. You can use the argument, well, he's not going to be playing on the big stage. That's not as important to a lot of people, I don't think. For Travis Hunter, he's going to be in the NFL as long as he stays healthy. So I think it's a great move for him personally. I'm not going to judge a 17, 18-year-old on their long-term decisions, and I don't think anybody else should as well. Did get a question in here talking about Vinnick sold a minority stake of the team. Did see that. Haven't heard much about that, so I can't really comment any further. But we will certainly do some more digging of what that means. I know there's been a few transactions going on around the NHL lately with Pittsburgh and all that's going on. But no, I wouldn't be too concerned about that right now. I don't think Vinnick's going anywhere. What he's done with the Lightning organization and the way, all the stuff that he's invested in that channel side, or used to be channel side area. I don't know what they call it now. But it's great. It's pretty congested down there, but it's a sight to see if you're going on the Selman. If you're down, you see what they got going on. So, I wouldn't be concerned about that whatsoever. Jeff Vinnick, to me, is the Lightning brand. All right, great show today. Obviously, flying solo here for the last hour. Hope we kept you entertained. Sean was great today. Thanks to Anthony Becht for joining us earlier, talking about that tight end golden generation that we're in. Thanks to Paul Wilson for breaking down Spider-Man and King Richard and not spoiling anything for me as I go run and see that today. And thanks to Leo Haggerty for talking Bucks, COVID, and your Bolts. All right, we'll be back next Monday. Remember, we are going to be doing shows on Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be putting specials out for the rest of the week. Have a Merry Christmas and be safe out there.